Gentlemen, allow me to start with something that could catch you off guard. Each and every morning throughout America, millions of guys over 60 fix themselves a mug of coffee, sip it all up, and unknowingly squander the prime chance they've got to bring their manhood back to life once more. That's right, I'm referring to firmer, more enduring erections. Even as you hit deep into your 70s or 80s, imagine if that familiar cup you've savored for decades might either leave you feeling feeble or assist in making you sense like your former self anew. I'm Dr. Laura. As a urologist and an educator in men's health boasting over 30 years under my belt, I've dedicated my career to aiding men in reclaiming their vigor, vitality, and poise. I've faced off against countless thousands of men right there in my clinic, those who figured their prime years had passed them by, and I've revealed to them remedies that utterly transformed their existences. Now, here's the startling truth. The majority of men assume issues with performance stem merely from the inevitable toll of advancing years. They point fingers at age, tension, or sheer misfortune. Yet the true mystery lies here. Even as countless men chase after tablets, operations, or costly therapies, the mightiest fixes are frequently right there in their own kitchens. And this is my commitment to you. Incorporate merely one straightforward natural element into your coffee, and you'll be able to enhance blood circulation substantially, elevate testosterone, and revive erections in a manner that's organic, secure, and enduring. This goes beyond mere theory. It's backed by scientific studies and generations of proven outcomes in actual men. So stick around with me, as right shortly, I'll reveal precisely what to mix into your dawn brew and the reasons it holds the power to rekindle your body's prowess, even at the age of 80. Prior to jumping in, be sure to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell to catch every bit of my upcoming tips on men's wellness and vigor. Plus, I'd truly appreciate your input. Should this resonate with you, drop a 1 in the comments below. If not, jot down 0 and share with me ways I can refine these videos to better serve you. Alright, let's plunge into the genuine cause behind why so many fellows beyond 60 grapple with softer erections. It's far from solely the passage of time. It's the shifts unfolding deep within your physiology. To genuinely resolve the issue, we need to grasp precisely why erections diminish over the passing years, and what's subtly altering your inner workings. Whenever I face men in my practice, among the initial queries they frequently pose is, "Doc, what's causing this for me? Why, following all those years, am I abruptly facing difficulty with an aspect that once seemed utterly effortless?" And my response to them remains consistent. It hasn't struck out of nowhere. It's accumulated gradually within your system across decades. Upon hitting 60, a pair of vital transformations are well in progress. To begin, your testosterone, that essential hormone driving a man's zest, motivation, and capacity to excel, has plummeted by almost 50% from its levels back in your 20s. Next, those arteries delivering vital blood to your heart, your mind, and, indeed, to your manhood, have hardened over time. They're no longer as pliant or reactive as in youth, and that shift alters everything. Consider it in these terms. Back when you were in your prime, your physique operated akin to a robust, high-pressure hose for the garden. The flow surged swiftly and forcefully, saturating every nook. Erections arrived without effort, since circulation was robust and your tissues reacted promptly. However, with advancing age, that hose wears down, grows rigid, and starts to seep. The flow dribbles rather than gushes, yielding softer, briefer erections, or at times, none whatsoever. This has nothing to do with resolve or longing. It's pure physiology. And here's the element most fellows overlook. As soon as those arteries constrict and testosterone dips, your body kicks off a downward spiral. Reduced testosterone sparks diminished vitality and lean mass. Diminished circulation breeds feebler erections. And gradually, a fellow might begin sensing like a mere echo of his past self. I recall a specific patient vividly, a 67-year-old granddad who visited my office. He perched there in silence, then murmured softly, "I simply don't sense like a man any longer." And from his gaze, I discerned this transcended mere intimacy. It touched on essence, assurance, the inner fire that renders you vibrant. That ache is authentic. And still, what I conveyed to him and what I share with you today is that physiology can be shaped. Deterioration isn't fate-sealed. Your form retains an astonishing potential to rebound when supplied with proper nourishment and aid. The encouraging aspect is you require no script to commence tilting the scales your way. That everyday mug of coffee you down each morning can morph into an instrument for reinstating flow and bolstering your inner chemistry. Through incorporating the appropriate organic elements, you can aid those rigid arteries in loosening, widening circulation, and furnishing your system with essentials to reclaim robustness. It's straightforward, it's innate, and it proves effective even as you venture far into your 70s or 80s. Thus, with your grasp now on why erections wane alongside the years, permit me to demonstrate how an everyday item like your Morning Joe can turn remarkable once you tap its concealed strengths. Each dawn, males nationwide fix a serving of coffee sans a passing thought. For plenty among us, it's near instinctive. The scent wafting from those newly ground beans, the vapor curling from the vessel, that initial swallow that shakes off the fog. It resembles a cherished routine sustaining our momentum. I've listened to men in consultation confess, "Doc, I'd relinquish nearly everything except my brew." And I invariably grin, for I get it fully. My own mornings kick off identically. Coffee rouses the intellect, hones concentration, and delivers that surge of pep we've leaned on across years. But here's the oversight most males miss. Plain coffee performs only partial duty. Indeed, the caffeine amps up flow for a spell. Sure, it grants that cognitive sharpness, yet relying solely on coffee mirrors flooring the accelerator in a vehicle neglected for maintenance over years. You snag a fleeting surge of velocity, granted, but exhaustion follows fast, while core mechanical woes linger. That's precisely why numerous men end up grabbing another mug come mid-morning, then a third by afternoon, pursuing that elusive peak that fades swiftly. The reality is, straight black coffee mirrors standard gasoline in an elite vehicle. It functions, yet it fails to deliver the superior output your physique craves amid aging. Here's the intriguing twist. Coffee holds potential for far greater impact. Through a mere enhancement, that identical mug shifts from a hasty alarm to a potent wellness aid that nurtures your arteries, safeguards your ticker, and energizes your erections. Ponder that briefly. The exact beverage you relish daily could evolve into an innate, evidence-based remedy for among the toughest challenges males encounter post-60. That's no illusion. It's tangible biology ripe for activation. I've witnessed it up close among my clientele. A gentleman in his 70s shared that following prolonged battles, he commenced incorporating one organic element into his dawn coffee. And in mere weeks, he sensed his stamina level out and his assurance revive in private moments. He escaped the jitters. He dodged the midday slump, and he regained command over his frame. That modest tweak restored optimism, and it underscored for me how minor shifts often spark profound evolutions. Coffee needn't remain mere routine. It can serve as a conduit for mending and renewal. It's recognizable, it's budget-friendly, and it's woven into your existence. All that's needed is discerning what to blend in, elevating it beyond drink status. It emerges as an ally in your wellness, your fortitude, and your virility. And the finest element is, you needn't linger months or years for shifts to appear. Now, let's reveal the initial element capable of converting your standard coffee mug into exceptional sustenance for your physique and your erections. An element employed across centuries, yet bypassed by most males entirely. Reflecting on my youth, I still catch the whiff of cinnamon wafting from the kitchen. My mom would dust it atop steamy oats or fold it into a pastry that perfumed the entire home with its sweet, soothing essence. For numerous of us, cinnamon evokes flavors linked to fond recollections, festive times, and kin assemblies. But what escapes most males' notice is this everyday herb harbors a concealed potency, one safeguarding your arteries, leveling your pep, and even reinstating your prowess for robust, persistent erections. Here's its significance. As years accumulate, a prime adversary to male wellness is erratic blood glucose. Each surge and plunge in your glucose harms the minuscule arteries spanning your form. And the finest, most fragile ones, those within the penis, typically falter first. These conduits are slimmer than a strand of hair, and upon impairment, flow to that zone diminishes well prior to any signs in your major pathways. This explains why males facing glucose woes often face erectile hurdles years ahead of a diabetes label. Cinnamon intervenes as a sentinel. Studies indicate it can slash fasting glucose by up to 20 to 30%, and that lone influence shields those fragile conduits nourishing your virility. Yet cinnamon achieves beyond that. It aids your arteries in easing and expanding via a mechanism termed vasodilation. The key substance, cinnamaldehyde, genuinely amplifies nitric oxide. That identical substance prescription aids like Viagra aim to engage. As nitric oxide rises, circulation betters. And as circulation betters, erections grow firmer, more ample, and more reliable. Patients have shared with me that mere weeks of blending cinnamon into their morning joe yielded more even vitality across the day and a clear shift in intimate settings. One fellow, a former builder in his upper 50s, recounted moving from craving an afternoon rest to tackling his tasks with unwavering grip. An additional perk is cinnamon imparts warmth, not solely in flavor, but in flow. That gentle heating sensation marks your system reacting to enhanced circulation. And the elegance lies in its minimal needs. A mere quarter teaspoon swirled into your brew suffices to launch this sequence. The essence is steadiness, weaving it into your everyday practice, ensuring your conduits remain guarded, your pep holds firm, and your assurance starts resurfacing. Cinnamon transcends mere seasoning. It's a routine gesture of self-nurture that delights the palate, demands scant cost, and blends ancient insight with contemporary empirical validation. Now envision advancing this further, pairing that cozy herb with yet another innate element that not only aids flow, but toggles the core lever for erections within your form. Let's discuss cocoa. There's an almost shared solace in chocolate's embrace. Perhaps it was the treat bar you yearned for as a lad, or the square of deep chocolate you snag occasionally as indulgence. That deep, faintly acrid profile bears an aura of coziness and reminiscence. But here's the revelation many males overlook. Under that known taste hides an extraordinary mystery. Pure, sugar-free cocoa, intense, profound, and free from additives, ranks among nature's premier instruments for reinstating circulation and revitalizing erections. Cocoa brims with flavonoids, substances that engage straight on your artery's inner layer. These flavonoids prompt nitric oxide's discharge, the paramount substance for erections. View nitric oxide as the unlock command for your conduits. With elevated amounts, arteries broaden fully, flow heightens, and blood enters the penis with ease. With low amounts, arteries remain taut and tight, and despite ample yearning, the physique can't muster a reply. This mirrors the precise route meds pursue. but cocoa lets you foster identical replies organically. I recall a client in his early 70s, a soul who'd all but surrendered on closeness. He arrived weary, abashed, and reluctant to voice his trials. I proposed commencing with a teaspoon of unprocessed cocoa powder in his dawn brew. 30 days on, he reappeared, beaming. "I'll never forget, Doc," he declared. "It's as if a toggle flipped within." That's nitric oxide's role. It activates the primary lever energizing erections, and cocoa offers among the easiest, most secure paths to amplify it. Yet cocoa extends past bodily gains. It holds elements elevating spirits, anandamide, dubbed the bliss factor at times, and phenylethylamine, the self-same substance unleashed in budding romance. Males frequently undervalue the psyche's role in prowess. When calmer, more upbeat, and more linked, your form aligns. Layer on the magnesium plentiful in cocoa, aiding hormone synthesis and sinew operation. And you discern why this modest inclusion packs such punch. The flavor alone elevates your joe to a distinct treat. A mocha-esque depth sans the glucose jolt of cocoa drinks, and should the edge seem overpowering initially, temper it with a hint of innate sweetener such as stevia or monk fruit. The crux is, beyond a richer sip, you're signaling your system to rouse, to widen the roots narrowing with time, and to energize your essence at its root. Cinnamon sustains your conduit's health and balance, but cocoa delves further. It engages the exact process enabling those conduits to expand fully. And as potent as that proves, another element revered across ages in Peru's highlands awaits. An element famed for reviving zeal, endurance, and fervor. Let's explore maca, the Andean treasure. Up in the rarefied, chilly heights of the Andes thrives a modest tuber adored for ages by regional growers and shepherds. That tuber is maca, and in Peru, it's uttered with deep esteem. They deem it nature's Viagra, not for mimicking a tablet's action, but for stirring a profound essence in the male form. Upon first encountering maca, I was captivated by how a flora enduring near 14,000 feet in barren earth, where scant else persists, could embody such fortitude and tenacity. And as I started suggesting it to clients, I observed those traits mirrored in their shifts. Maca doesn't compel your system to act. It nudges it to recall its innate skills. Distinct from lab-made meds that force flow briefly, maca bolsters your inner chemistry's equilibrium. It liaises with the hypothalamus and pituitary, the chief regulators of your glandular network, and aids in reestablishing innate cadence. Thus, your testosterone may climb anew, your pep may rebound, and your long-slumbering urge may emerge. I've witnessed males in their 60s and 70s depict the sensation not as an abrupt shock, but as a gradual blaze reigniting over weeks. Evidence affirms this. In a trial, males ingesting roughly 2.4 grams of maca each day, about a teaspoon, saw gains in intimate urge and prowess post just 12 weeks. A further trial noted elevated sperm volume and mobility, evident markers of a smoother reproductive mechanism. But maybe the most compelling is how myriad males note not solely bodily upsides, but keen intellect, enhanced acuity, and an emotional uplift. One client, a former educator, confided, "Doc, it's like the bulbs reignited in my mind." That's the shift enriching existence, not confined to private spaces, but spanning all facets. Maca appears in varied forms. Yellow maca, the prevalent sort, offers a subtle taste and mild influence. Red maca gains acclaim for aiding prostate wellness, a priority for every elder male, and black maca stands as the dynamo, amplifying endurance and pep more evidently. Blending a teaspoon into your joe imparts a nut-like, faintly toasty note that plenty males grow fond of, particularly alongside cocoa. What captivates me deepest about maca is its adaptogenic nature, aiding your form in adjusting to strains without directional force. Amid a realm where males past 60 confront endless strains from labor, kin, wellness, such backing proves priceless. It forges endurance, akin to the peak forging it in the tuber. Cinnamon mends the conduits. Cocoa toggles the nitric oxide lever. And maca now energizes your chemistry and zeal. But suppose I revealed an element that not merely backs hormones, but supplies the core stuff your form requires to craft testosterone outright. Let's address coconut oil. Across years, countless males heard to shun fats. Lean regimens were touted as wellness keys, and cohorts of men matured dreading creams, oils, and all richness. But here's the twist. Testosterone, that hormone rendering a male vibrant, is forged from lipids and sterols. Absent them, your physique starves for essentials sustaining strength, spark, and sensual prowess. This prompts my frequent grin when I detail for clients how a dollop of coconut oil in their donjo ranks among the easiest paths to energize their essence. Coconut oil distinguishes itself via abundance in medium-chain triglycerides, or MCTs. These differ from the extended-chain lipids in typical fare. Rather than the leisurely digestive path, MCTs head direct to the liver, swiftly morphing into fuel. Envision them as elite gasoline unclogging the works, incinerating purely and propelling the form near instantly. Probes reveal males taking MCTs witness testosterone climbs up to 20% over other lipid consumers. And with bolstered testosterone arrives enhanced pep, steadier spirits, and upgraded prowess across meanings. I recall a late 60s fellow entering my clinic drained. He persisted in partial work, bore duties, yet confessed hauling his frame through daylight. I urged him toward what's termed bulletproof Joe, blended with coconut oil. 4 weeks hence, he re-entered, transformed markedly. His pep held firm through mornings. The post-meal dip vanished, and he beamed, recounting eased closeness with his spouse. That's the evolution a basic alimentary tweak yields. Emulsifying the oil in steaming Joe yields a velvety, latte-resembling sip, opulent and fulfilling. The lipid moderates caffeine uptake. Thus, bypassing abrupt peak and slump, you gain a fluid energy dispersal across hours. Certain males opt for distilled MCT oil, more potent, while others ease in with half a teaspoon of coconut oil, ramping gradually for gentler digestion. Regardless, the outcome aligns. You're provisioning your form with vital components sustaining hormone forging. It's astounding how a basic like oil, long misconstrued, emerges such a steadfast comrade in male wellness. And still, potent as direct hormone fueling proves, another element operates via a wholly distinct route. It not merely aids testosterone, it shields the precise organs crafting it, while simultaneously turbocharging your flow. Let's delve into ginger. There's an indelible zing in ginger's keen, heating snap. Perhaps you've savored it shredded atop dishes, steeped in brew during unease, or detected in seasonal sweets bearing added zest. But past taste and solace, ginger has endured veneration across millennia in age-old remedies. And rightly so. Today's inquiry validates ancestral wisdom. Ginger wields capacity to broaden arteries, soothe swelling, and even amplify testosterone. For a male beyond 60, this spells amplified flow, heightened pep, and firmer erections. Ginger engages multiply. Initially, it betters circulation. Its potent elements, gingerol and shogalls, ease arteries, permitting wider expansion. As blood courses unbound, your ticker, intellect, and indeed your essence all gain. That added heat post-ginger infusion or meal addition isn't mere feel. It's your blood navigating your form more adeptly. For males wrestling circulation-tied erectile woes, this unassuming herb can yield evident shifts. But the true astonishment lies in ginger's safeguarding and bolstering of testosterone. The testes, testosterone's forge, prove susceptible to warmth, poisons, and free radical strain. Across time, such burdens erode the very units driving hormone yield. Ginger fortifies them. Data shows routine ginger uptake can hike testosterone markedly. In one probe, nearly 18% post 3 months. It achieves via elevating luteinizing hormone, the signal directing testes to ramp output, and by curbing the radical strain, throttling their efficacy. I summon a mid-60s client, a reserved soul admitting exhaustive supplement trials with scant yield. I proposed infusing fresh ginger slivers in his Donjo, or a quarter teaspoon of powdered for simplicity. Weeks on, his clasp gripped surer, his grin glowed. He shared, "Doc, I sense warmer, mightier, more alert." And my partner spotted it ere I. That instant recalled how potent routine picks can prove. Ginger's allure shines in versatility. Fresh yields fleeting, essences granting swift flow lifts, while milled packs denser actives for sustained upsides. Some males crave fresh's punch, others milled's convenience. Either path, it's economical, harmless, and time-tested in healing. Thus, envision. You've woven in cinnamon for conduit safeguarding, cocoa for nitric oxide ignition, maca for zeal revival, and coconut oil for testosterone fueling. Now, ginger turbocharges flow and guards your essence's wellspring. The query arises: how to enact this sans overload? Let's consolidate into an easy sequential blueprint any male can pursue. With our tour through these robust elements complete, I wish to halt and tackle a notion many males entertain. By now you may ponder, "Doc, this rings promising, yet must I convert my kitchen to a research hub each dawn?" And the forthright reply is, no. These innate aids' charm resides in shunning intricate processes or lavish gear. What they demand is reliability. As you master folding them into your routine simply and feasibly, the upsides accumulate across time. And that's when genuine distinction emerges. Robust, assured, vibrant. My opening counsel to males is, commence modestly. Select one, say cinnamon. It's effortless, palate-pleasing, and promptly aids glucose and flow. A quarter teaspoon swirled in your Dawn mug, scarcely seconds effort. Yet the effects build relentlessly. Once at ease, introduce cocoa. Abruptly, your Joe transcends wake-up fare. It proactively energizes nitric oxide, toggling for superior flow. Week upon week, as you incorporate maca or coconut oil, you craft a mug not merely morning-sustaining, but long-haul fueling for form and essence. A 70s client of mine launched with cinnamon alone. Post-fortnight, cocoa joined. A month in, maca thrice weekly. By month's second close, he declared, "Doc, this steadiness eludes me no more in years. Pep, acuity, prowess, it's resurfacing. That's layering's might, sans strain. You needn't deploy all 5 daily. Excess can tax digestion indeed. Rather, view it as tailoring your blend. Certain dawns, cinnamon plus cocoa. Others, maca and ginger. And on leisurely spells, emulsified Joe with coconut oil, cinnamon, cocoa, ginger for a lavish, silken latte tasting sublime, while nurturing innately as plain Joe can't. The aim isn't flawlessness but advancement. Granting adjustment time yields constant evolutions, superior dawns, amplified pep, keener thought, and taughter erections. Recall, decline needn't pass as standard senescence. These modest routine selections can elevate your morning into life's premier wellness rite. And though we've now assembled the full vista, one closing verity demands your ear. For grasping the inquiry marks one facet, yet fathoming its emotional weight as a male delves far profounder. Let's broach that ahead. Discussing erections, it's simple to frame the aim as bedroom prowess alone. But permit me to share what decades with males have shown repeatedly. This spans far beyond coupling. Erections mirror your form's ledger. They signal artery wellness, cardiac state, hormonal poise, even cerebral vigor. As they dim, it's seldom mere want. It oft heralds initial circulation lag, pep decline, and your form's muted plea for aid. I evoke a late 60s client arriving crestfallen. He voiced, Doc, it's beyond performance lapse. I lack my former self. Strength evades, assurance wanes. And I grasped his intent precisely. For males, essence transcends corporeal. It's effective. It's a rising dawnward with intent, sensing apt to shield kin, and affirming vitality to impart. As those sentiments ebb, existence dulls subtly. Hence, folding cinnamon, cocoa, maca, coconut oil, ginger into Daily Joe isn't solely for Erections' 80-year return. It's affirming your capacity for expansion, might, refreshment. These elements don't merely broaden conduits, they unlock avenues to amplified pep, honed focus, profounder ties with cherished ones. And a male sensing bodily might alters carriage. He chuckles freer. He confronts trials assuredly. He reclaims intimate delight sans dread or pause. I've beheld males deeming prime eras past wholly reshape upon realizing decline's optional. That life glow, that full presence feel. It rebounds and persists. Your Don Joe turns daily cue, you're not impotent. Modest picks forge vast shifts temporally, and perchance crucially, it writes self-regard, voicing to form and psyche, I endure relevant, unyielded. Thus, beyond flow, chemistry, physiology, it touches core, esteem, affective health. For a male sensing wholeness anew, he doesn't merely mend physique, he reclaims existence. And with this trek's profundity unveiled, it's time to unify all. Gentlemen, we've traversed quite the path in our exchange. We launched from the plain fact that unadorned Joe alone can't reclaim time's gradual thefts, but via mere innate, evidence-rooted elements, cinnamon, cocoa, maca, coconut oil, ginger, you can elevate your Dawn mug profoundly. None are mere taste. Their sustenance, cinnamon levels glucose, guards fragile conduits. Cocoa toggles nitric oxide governing flow. Maca dialogues hormones, easing to equilibrium. Coconut oil energizes testosterone via essential components. Ginger ignites flow while shielding manhood's fount. This shuns hasty fixes or enigmatic tabs, it's deference. Deference to form, to wellness, to spanned years. I've observed myriad 60s, 70s, even 80s males reclaim might, pep, and erections via modest routine tweaks. It's no abrupt marvel as pitches claim. Rather, it's steadfast, reliable reconstruction of pep, dawn by dawn. And oft, that's mightier for its endurance. I'll level with you. As physician, this moves me deeply, for when a male shares sensing himself anew, that he's freer in laughter, fiercer in toil, or tenderer in spousal clasp, I know we've transcended issue mend. We've aided life segment reclamation. And isn't that our shared aim? To sense vital, linked, capable, candle count be damned. Thus, my dare to you. Morrow dawn. As you decant that Joe, recall our words. Initiate one modest tweak. Afford weeks. Gauge response, then layer another. Forge your bespoke blueprint suiting your path. For your form retains wondrous feats. It craves apt backing alone. Persist reliably, patiently, optimistically. Gentlemen, your tale unfolds yet. Prime dawns await ahead, and inception lies in that Dawn mug's choice.